Hello Targar friends, hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and once again it's time for another Orc Mode workout, and today was max effort deadlift day. It's a quick reminder, please click like if you watch these, and please click like on my other videos for the day, it would be greatly appreciated. Don't even feel like doing that spiel today, just reach down there and click it, guys. Alright, heavy bands off of 2-inch blocks. That's what we pulled today. Now, I've already put up my chart so you guys see exactly what lifts are in the rotation. I've had people already asking, why are you doing the band? Who don't understand? Guys, Dr. Rackpool, you watch my damn channel. You know exactly why we do the bands and the chains. Don't play stupid. Alright? I like you, but don't play fucking stupid because you're not stupid. Now, over to the point. You guys know we rotate through the maxes. You know that I have 2 different band and 2 different chain tensions and straight weight randomly picked for every max lift. I don't pick it. I have an actual random number generator to pick it. I don't know what I'm going to lift when I get up in the morning. I just know there's going to be a bench or a deadlift or a squat or whatever. Okay, I had no clue if I was going to be doing a deficit, a block, straight weight, bands, chains. Now this is a particularly hard one for grip because we tend to get a lot of weight at the top. This is probably the hardest grip training variation on my rotation. So it actually let me see where my grip was, and I held the grip just fine. There at the lockout, set it down. I'm very happy with that from a grip training perspective. For those curious, that's 640 at the lockout. And it's actually 640 for about the last 8 inches. Okay, the bands hit peak weight much quicker than chains do. And they jerk you back down. So it really was a great test of grip strength. That's it. It was just a max pull to where we test grip strength. Got 515 bar weight on that lift. Next time I do that lift, which I will never repeat the same variation more than once every 12 weeks. So if it randomly comes up in 12 or 14 weeks, hopefully we PR on it. And if we PR on it, guess what? That's good. That's good. That's what we want. If I get a 20-pound PR on that lift, we know my deadlift is probably up about 20 pounds. Okay, probably up about 20 pounds. So we just keep training this stuff. Now, I switched bars on the good mornings, and oh my god, this is so much more comfortable than the safety bar. Safety bar hurts my neck still. Hurts my neck, and people said change the pads won't help it. The pad would sit on top of my neck. No matter what pad I put on there, guys, or what I wrap it with, it's still going to be on my neck. I have big traps. There's no way to put a safety bar anywhere but like on the back of my skull, basically. Right? I can't avoid it. There's no way to put it further down. I may even pull the safety bar out since I'm doing all this other T-spine work. This just felt so much better. Now it's tough to get into that low bar position, but this felt really, really good. Felt good, even with 225. And I'm going about as deep as I can while still hinging my hip with these, and it has to do with the fact that I've got weights equal to my body weight or higher. When we start getting up towards body weight, it's hard to balance at mid-foot. So you've got to push your butt further back, and you're only going to get so much bend in the back, and that's okay though. I needed to make me stronger at deadlifting. That angle is maybe the deepest angle you would get on a deficit deadlift, right? So it's adequate. It works for our purposes. It works for exactly what we want it to do. So I'm going to try to ramp this up over 3 weeks, and then I'll switch to my cambered bar. I might even try to learn to do these with the buffalo bar, and I might pull the safety bar out and just take the safety bar for squat variations and speed squats. Mainly because I can stay upright and it just doesn't push on my dang neck so much. But I personally was happy with how these felt through my back, through my hamstrings, everything else. It's kind of nice to be back to this bar. And I think the other bars will be even easier on my shoulders. But I'm going to do a 3-week wave with these, and I do need to get a max in with this. So I thought, let me go ahead and use this straight bar for a wave so that coming up I can test a max on it to get a baseline for my bands and chains so I can do the different bars randomly on good mornings about every 5 weeks, right? Because I mean, in the long term, I think that's what I'd like to do. 2 squat, 2 deadlift, and 1 good morning on a max on the random lifts. But I feel like I can progress on these. 225 was nice and challenging for 3 sets of 10, but I left some in the tank. So we're going to try to just keep adding weight on it, ramp it up, spend 3 weeks getting as strong as possible, switch bars, do the same thing. Right, every 3-week block I'll swap bars. Decided to try to start going heavier on the hip belt squats. I like the 20 rep sets from a pump perspective, but from a tension perspective, I need to work on getting stronger. So I put 35 more pounds on this, and I did sets of 12. Now, I think long term, something like up to 300 pounds for sets of 10 would be a good goal to reach for, especially with this really wide stance. Now, I started running into trouble with that belt just rubbing the inside of my hip really, really badly. I think on the second set you see me having to stop and adjust it because it was very, very uncomfortable. And it's just the way that it rubs me. And anyone who's tried to do these with a non-correct belt, yeah, anyone who's tried to do these with a dip belt, you guys have an insane pain threshold because it just rips you. It'll end up cutting your skin, actually. You'll get cuts down your thigh trying to use a chain for this. These belts exist for a reason. But I feel like this is going to be one of the secret weapons to my squat. This will really help my quads, and I feel like I only really need to hammer it just once a week. Just get that good extra quad work in on the days where I'm not getting volume from the speed work. Because we get speed boxes and speed pulls, and especially off of a deficit on the other days. So I get more quad work there. On these max days, I don't. And this will ensure that we get quad work, abductor work, everything in a way that carries over to the wide stance squat. And I do these for the wide stance. Some people are like, well, I don't like using that device like that for these because you're forced to go so wide. Well, that's what you want, right? Are we trying to build a strong squat or not? And everybody squats more with a wide stance once you build the muscles up. Biomechanically, you should be stronger. If you are not stronger with a wide stance like this, you have major muscle weaknesses. And I'm not saying I don't have the muscle weaknesses there, by the way. But I'm building this up. So you want to do this, right? You want to do this wide. That's where the real dividends of it pay off. It's the ability to do that wide power squat stance without loading your spine up. You can recover from it. It has almost no negatives on your recovery because of the lack of axial loading. And yes, this beats a leg press or anything else you could possibly do. Okay, it's dramatically superior. It's great movement. I mean, I wish I had the hip belt squat machine, but I just don't have the room or the anything else for it. Plus, I think the cost on those is pretty high. More than I care to spend for more home gym equipment these days. But space is also a factor. I'd love to have one. I'd use the hell out of it. I'd use it for all sorts of stuff. But I don't have it. But the training effect from this is good. It's just the issue of that belt rubbing me the wrong way, and I've just got to get used to it. Got to make sure I get good at adjusting it correctly, making sure careful where exactly that belt fits into that crease in my leg, right there where it meets the hip. Right? So that it doesn't rub me wrong, because it's very uncomfortable. So again, we went up in weight with this though, so I'm happy with that, and I want to keep working on getting stronger down in this just a 10 and slightly above rep range. My goal will be to get really strong at 3x10 on this, just like I do my other lifts. Again, we want to get that tension. I finally got these at a challenging level. Went up 1 more inch. And you know what? My shoulders feel a lot better. These really made my shoulder crackle into place. Like I had said before, yesterday I had that inflammation, but it was still crackling. These really made my shoulder feel good. I felt everything just kind of pop and crackle back into a good position. All because of those 3 sets of chin-ups on Friday, which, like I said, I'm already working on a fix for that. We have to continue to build the musculature up, build my rotators, and then find the exact position I can do without any shoulder issue and keeping that space in my shoulder in the joint wide. I'm going to find the exact angle and grips that I can do it with ring pull-ups. Because I want to be able to incorporate weighted pull-ups again. I want to be able to incorporate them. But again, they seem to have been probably the leading cause of my shoulder problems I was having a few months back. Because the wide grip benching doesn't bother it now that I've rehabbed it all. It was chin-ups doing it. And muscle imbalances, which I've been working on. We do rotator stuff every single day. But they felt really good. They felt great, actually. And grip was becoming challenging, but again, 10. I got 11 and then 10 and 10 with a 12-inch elevation. Shrugs, because my grip got tested so hard on the deadlifts and then those, my grip was giving out, so I had to reset every single rep, or every single set. Like the final set, I ended up resetting like at least 3 times. First 2, I just did 1, cranked out my 10 reps. But that's okay. You know, people would say, oh, why would you let your grip limit you? Because it needs to work together. This is grip training, not just upper back training. Right? Same thing, I'm doing tons of weighted carries. I do a lot of farmer's walks right now, first thing in the morning on my off days. And I have farmer's walks handles. People have seen them. I have the little compact Titan ones, so they're easy to use. You can use them indoors. Go up and down the hallway. I've been doing those all the time too. So all my trap work is going to be limited by grip. And that's okay. We want the grip, right? I need to be able to grip and hold 700 pounds. And it all works together, so it's fine. I don't mind. I'm perfectly fine with that. But this is how I'm going to build the upper back more and more and more. A variety of exercises to help build all of that. I'm not even going to worry about the safety bar other than for speed squats and some max squats. Good mornings will do it. All the upright rows, the inverted rows, shrugs, weighted carries. That'll build up the upper back and T-spine the way that I need it. It's just hitting all these different angles. But yeah, these got pretty challenging near the end. I think I got like 4 or 5 reps. Might have been 5 and then had to reset several times. I just couldn't grip it anymore. My grip was giving out. So my grip got worked pretty hard today. Right? The max effort against bands. Oh my gosh, that's tough on grip. And anyone who's ever done band pulls knows what I'm talking about. Especially when you start getting past 100 pounds of bands like that. And I think people need to remember when they're doing the math, that my 20 and 10% are not of the bar weight, they're of my maxes. Since my max deadlift is 615, if I do 10% or 20% band or chain, it's on any deadlift, it's 10 or 20% of my deadlift max. Okay, does that make sense, guys? Same thing with the squatting. Same thing with the benching. We're working off of my max lifts. All percentages are based off max lifts. Then we did these, and I went ahead and I got 12 reps on the final set. And these are tough. Sometimes I need a little bit of swing to get started. I'm trying to do these really, really strict now. Same thing, I'm working off percentages of squats with target weights. I'm going to do my good mornings the same way, actually. I've seen some really good coaches talk about ratios of good morning to squat. So the same thing when we're dealing with this is a hip hinge. I think the squat is a good benchmark to use. If we're going to do these strict instead of a really heavy swing, then yeah, we do need to work off these percentages. So right now, I'm just trying to get 10 plus reps with 50% of my back squat. And I'm almost there. I'm a little bit short of 50%. But if I'm able to get 12 like I was on this first one, I can add a small amount of weight. Right, and we can take this up, even if it's just 5 pounds every week, 5 pounds every 2 weeks. Just keep getting stronger at the 10 rep sets. And then I do the restoration work on the off days. But all in all, it was a good workout. Happy with the lifts, felt strong, happy with all my supplemental work. And I feel good about this week moving forward from here. So I hope it has been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.